Dusk settled over the village, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. The air, thick with the scent of wood smoke and earth, hummed with the rhythmic beat of drums. Huts, woven from sturdy branches and draped in leaves, huddled together like a herd of slumbering beasts. Torches flickered, casting dancing shadows on the hard-packed earth. Children's laughter echoed through the clearing, a counterpoint to the steady thrum of the drums.
Above it all, perched on a plateau overlooking the village, stood Rasa. He was a young man, barely a man, with eyes as keen as a hawk's and a jaw set with determination. Rasa was a hunter, the best among his people, the villagers of whispering leaves. He carried the weight of their survival on his shoulders, a responsibility etched into his very being. Beside him, Koro, his theropod dinosaur and hunting companion, snorted, sensing the coming hunt. The bond between them ran deep, a silent language of trust and shared purpose.
The moon, a pale sliver in the darkening sky, watched over the village clearing. Rasa stood before the shaman, the firelight casting flickering shadows across his face.
The shaman, her eyes deep pools of ancient wisdom, placed a hand on Koro's snout and then on Rasa's shoulder. A silent prayer escaped her lips, a plea for their safe return and a bountiful hunt.
Around them, the villagers of whispering leaves gathered. Women, their faces etched with worry, clutched the hands of their children. The men, their expressions stoic, but their eyes betraying their concern, clasped Rasa's forearm in a gesture of solidarity. Each farewell carried the weight of their shared history, a legacy of hunts and hardships, triumphs and losses. The drums beat louder, urging Rasa and Koro forward. The forest, a living, breathing entity, swallowed them whole. Towering trees, their trunks thicker than mammoths, clawed at the sky, their leafy canopy blocking out the moon. Beneath their feet, the forest floor was a treacherous carpet of roots, vines and decaying leaves. The air, heavy with the scent of damp earth and unknown dangers, pressed in on them.
Rasa moved with the grace of someone born to the forest. Every sense was alert, every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, a potential threat. Koro, his scaled hide blending seamlessly with the shadows, moved beside him, a silent, deadly predator. Their path was a winding one, guided by instinct and experience, deeper and deeper into the emerald abyss.
The silence of the forest was shattered by the roar of a startled beast. A monstrous boar, its tusks glinting in the dappled sunlight, charged out of the undergrowth. It was a creature of brute strength, its eyes burning with fury.
Rasa, his heart pounding in his chest, reacted instantly. He moved with a speed that belied his size, dodging the boar's charge, his spear a blur of motion.
Koro, sensing Rasa's intent, darted forward, his jaws snapping, teeth bared in a terrifying display. The forest echoed with the sounds of their struggle, the clash of spear on tusk, the roar of the boar, the hiss of Koro's breath. It was a dance of death, primal and raw, a battle for survival played out on the forest floor. The setting sun painted the sky in fiery hues as Rasa and Koro emerged from the forest. They walked wearily, dragging the carcass of the boar behind them.
Look, they're back! They did it!
The villagers, alerted by the sound of approaching footsteps, rushed to greet them. Cheers erupted, echoing through the clearing.
We have returned, and we bring food for the village.
Women rushed forward, their faces a mixture of relief and joy, to embrace their sons, husbands and brothers. Children, their eyes wide with awe, reached out to touch Koro's scaled hide.
Wow, Koro is so cool!
The hunt had been successful, the village would eat. Tonight, there would be feasting and celebration, a time for stories and laughter. The fire crackled merrily, casting dancing shadows on the faces of the villagers. The scent of roasted meat filled the air, mingling with the aroma of herbs and spices. Laughter and conversation flowed freely, fueled by victory and a shared sense of relief. Yet beneath the surface of celebration, a current of tension ran through the gathering.
Rasa, seated beside the shaman, his plate piled high with food, felt the weight of gazes upon him. He saw the envy in the eyes of some hunters, their lips curled into tight smiles that didn't reach their eyes. He heard the whispers carried on the wind, praising his skill while subtly questioning his tactics. Jealousy, a dangerous beast, stirred in the hearts of men.
As the moon climbed higher in the sky, casting its silvery glow over the village, the celebrations began to wind down. The villagers, their bellies full, their spirits lifted by stories and songs, slowly drifted back to their huts. The fire, its flames now reduced to glowing embers, cast flickering shadows that danced and swayed in the night breeze.
Rasa, his mind still buzzing with the thrill of the hunt, sat alone by the dying embers. He watched as the last of his people disappeared into their dwellings, their shapes melting into the darkness. A profound silence settled over the village, broken only by the chirping of crickets and the rustle of leaves.
The shaman, her face etched with age and wisdom, emerged from her hut. She moved with a slow, deliberate grace, her eyes fixed on Rasa. Her gaze held his, unwavering, as she lowered herself onto the ground beside him. The firelight, though faint, illuminated the concern etched on her wrinkled features. Vera as shaman. The spirits speak of a growing darkness. They whisper of a threat, unlike anything our people have faced before. Her words hung in the air, heavy with foreboding, their meaning as clear as the stars above. Rasa listened intently, his heart pounding in his chest. He had always trusted the shaman's wisdom, her connection to the spirits of the forest. He knew in his gut that her words were not to be taken lightly. A shadow of unease fell upon him, a stark contrast to the triumph of the day.
He stared into the darkness that lay beyond the circle of firelight, his mind racing. The forest, once a source of sustenance and solace, now seemed menacing and unpredictable. The future, once as bright as the sun, was now clouded with uncertainty. He knew, with a growing certainty, that the hunt, the rivalry, even the envy within the village, were mere trifles compared to the looming threat. The whispers of danger had been spoken, and the very survival of Whispering Leaves now hung precariously in the balance.